Hello, all you people out there in YouTube land. I am here with my dear friend, Dr. Elena Skyhawk. Hey, Elena. And she's going to tell you all about who she is and what she does. But we're basically here to talk about what's going on with Mama Gaia, or as Elena would say, Makaina. Because, we've reached a time where we can no longer ignore her needs. She is screaming for help. And the screaming is showing up in all of these climate events. Life is getting harder for us. It's harder for her. So we have to wake up, pay attention, and start giving her some nurturing back because she's nurtured us all of our lives. So that's what we're going to talk about. My friend Elena, almost all of her life has been working with Gaia, trying to help her to heal, being appreciative of her, and bringing those Native American sensibilities of respect for the planet that nurtures us. So, Elena, tell us a little bit about how you got started. Oh.
I
don't know where there was like an echo all of a sudden. Yeah, go ahead. We'll find it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm glad you invited me to come on to do this live, because it gets to the point where I sit here and I yell at spirit, I talk to spirit, I yell at people because I don't see it with my eyes enough happening. Okay. So for those that don't know me, I am a metaphysical minister, and I am also a doctor of metaphysical sciences, along with being a shaman and a healer and a teacher, mostly of metaphysical and shamanic stuff. But what a lot of people don't know is I also have a business background. So I have an accounting degree and I have a business degree. So you could say I'm a little overeducated, but it has come in handy throughout my life to help me stay grounded. And when I was a kid, one of the things, and my parents used to make fun of me all the time because I always wanted to be outside. I was outside walking barefoot. I mean, I don't think, especially during the summertime, I never had shoes on. I could walk on hot pavement like there was nothing because I was so used to walking barefoot. I could walk over rocks, whatever. But I would also sit on Mother Earth or Pachamama or Mahaina, however you want to call her. I can never pronounce, is it Gaia? Because to me, she's always been Mahaina or Pachamama. And the reason the Pachamama comes in is because that's South American. That's what the natives in South America call her. And my birth father is Native American and Spanish from South America. But I digress. I didn't know about that when I was little. I just knew I was Native American. And I've always had that affinity to be able to talk to animals, talk to birds, talk to nature, and could hear it talk back. And it's just grown over the years. And it's like, it's gotten to the point like now she literally is screaming because she's in a rebirthing process. And to put it bluntly, she's getting a little pissed off at the way she's being treated. As it was put to me this morning by Archangel Michael, she's not getting the respect she deserves.
Isn't it kind of like those parents with the children who totally take them for granted?
Mm-hmm. It is. And like Michael's told me this morning, he goes, if there was no Mother Earth, you wouldn't be here. So you need to start treating her with respect. You need to start treating her with love, because she is a living, breathing being. And us as humans need to start respecting that.
Yeah. And, I don't think most people really grasp the concept that she's a consciousness. She's not just this inanimate object. There's consciousness there.
Right. And it's one of the things that Michael brings up a lot is the law of cause and effect, which is where karma comes into play. because there is one sin on this planet, and it is to harm a living being. Well, Mother Earth is a living being. The trees are living beings. Everything here is alive. So if you deliberately harm it, there's going to be karma that has to be paid back. If you do it deliberately, it's going to be a little more severe than if you do it inadvertently. So you have to kind of like, and people on the planet, which is, and I find out with, especially talking to a lot of people, they don't believe in the laws of the universe. But the fact is, whether you believe them or not, doesn't make it that they're not there. We all have to abide by the laws of the universe. Every single being on this planet has to abide by those laws.
Let me ask you, you've always been connected. You had that awareness. But when did the awareness shift to the understanding that we needed to nurture her? Where did that start?
A lot of it came when I first met my first teacher. I think I was like 28 and I was living in Nevada. And I had never had a reading. Everybody used to talk about, oh, you need to get a reading. You need to get a reading. And I'm like, you know, because to me, it was like, who believes that stuff, you know? But somebody gave me the name of a lady. Her name was Annie. And she's the one who kind of started the ball rolling. And I showed up for the address that she gave me. And I was like, oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong place. And I got back in my car. I turned around and left. Went down, you know, looking for, I thought maybe I had transposed the numbers in the address and look. And so I still couldn't find what I thought I was looking for. So I pulled off the road and I called the number again. And she answered, and I told her, you know, what had happened when I got to the address she gave me. And she just started laughing and she goes, you were in the right place. And I said, but it was a church. And she goes, yes, my husband is the pastor here. And I do my tarot readings in the church office. And it lit my mind because the church I grew up in, the Lutheran church, that would have been unheard of. And so she kind of started opening up that little fissure that we all have that, okay, there's something other than, I mean, I could hear things and everything else when I was a kid, but that kind of opened it up even more. And she told me about things about me that I had never told anybody. So I knew she was talking to a higher power because there's no way she could have known what she knew. And from there, I was introduced to Cattell, who worked through a healing center. And that's where it really started growing because she taught me how to read the tarot. She, you know, a huge class that I went through. But I also learned about past life regressions. I started learning about a lot of different psychic development stuff, you know, because everybody and that's one thing I've run into a lot with people is they're like, well, yeah, but you're psychic. I'm not. Yes, you are. Everybody on this planet is born psychic. That's one of the gifts that the Creator has given everybody. So it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It's still fact and it's still true. And when you tell people that, they're like, but, and I'm like, have you ever stopped and had a gut feeling that you shouldn't go somewhere? Well, yeah, but that was my gut telling me. That's your intuition telling you, don't go somewhere. Have you ever just had a knowing that something bad was going to happen and it happened? And they're like, well, yeah. I said, again, that's your intuition. That's your psychic abilities telling you through your claircognizance that something is off and wrong. So we all have that ability. Some just choose not to listen to it.
Yeah. And you're going to talk a little bit later about how they can actually use their abilities to help Mama Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
Hyena.
Yep. Mahina. Yeah. Such a pretty name. I like the way they,
Is it Maka or Maha?
Maha.
Maha, okay.
Yeah, the K in the Lakota language, the K is not, it's a ha, Maha.
So I'm just going to type that in. Yeah. So tell us, before you go into, how and what are the things that you have been doing? Some of the people here are probably familiar with you because we talked about this on the podcast, but you've been going around for years installing pillars of light that are for protection and healing, if I understand correctly.
Right. Well, what we did, and as it was explained to me, because I'm a warrior of the light. I mean, there are a lot of people down here that are light workers, but then Archangel Michael has a group of individuals down here that are actually warriors of the light. They're part of his army of light. Within that army, I started out way at the bottom, just like you do in any organization or army. You start. So I went from a lieutenant up to a colonel and a general, and now I'm a 5-star general, and I keep asking him to take it away, but he doesn't. So in this battle that we are in, and it is a battle that we are in for this planet, make no mistake, it is a battle. There are dark forces out there that have destroyed their own planet. So they're trying to take over this planet, and they've done it to several other planets. So it really is a battle. And I've actually, I don't know if I'm fortunate to see it, but I've actually been able to see the battlefield that we have been in, and how we're suited up and our lightsabers. And actually one battle I was in, we were actually riding along with the 4 horses of the apocalypse, and they are awesome steeds. I mean, the power that they put out is amazing.
Was this recent, or was that a long time ago?
It was several years ago. So like I said, this battle has been going, it's not something that just started. But because of the process that Mother Earth is in, it's starting to come to a close, because she's getting ready to move into that next dimension. So when the election happened last year, Michael was like, okay, it's all hands on deck. And he assigned certain tasks to his 5-star generals. My task was to put down the pillars of light and attach them to the net of light that is around our planet. And then he stepped it up. At first, we were trying to get souls off the planet that were stuck here, that didn't know they had passed on, and they were trying to cross as many over as they could get back over into the light. When January 1st hit, he kind of changed it, and he said, we need more pillars down, and you need to recruit some people to help you, because it's a big job. And so we were putting pillars down. Well, then he stepped it up even more. So now the pillars actually have etched into them love, truth, justice, and unity. Because without those on this planet, you can't have peace, harmony, and balance, which is what Mother Earth is all about, which is what the feminine energy is about. So as we put these pillars down, where we're asked to put them down, you can, when you look out and see what's going on in the world now, you can see the changes that are happening. And right now they seem a little disturbing. And I even keep asking Michael, do I need to leave the country? Because it's like, what the heck? I'm like, and one of the things he keeps reminding, well, first of all, he says no. But what he keeps reminding me, and what everybody else needs to remember, is you need to believe that there will be peace on earth. You need to believe that love conquers all. And then you will see it. not the other way around. I see it when I believe it. No, you need to believe it from the depth of your soul that the light has won, because according to spirit, we have. It's just taking a while to clean up. And so what Michael told me last week, it is something we discussed about in our Archangel Michael meeting, was we need to still hold the light because it is doing the job, and we need to refill the pillars as they go down a little bit because it's sucking in the dark energy. But now it's time for the next general to step up with their troops, because they are, what did he call them? The garbage collectors. So we still have to support Earth and keep her lit up, because he told me that from outer space, from where they're at in their perspective, you can't mistake where Earth is. There is so much light coming off of this planet right now. And that's why I think it's kind of awesome that all these planets are aligning today.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at the planets and what they are about, and the next one actually isn't going to be until 2040. So that's how long it's going to be before the next time these planets all align together.
Do you know what that means, that they're aligning? Is that connected to Gaia, or is it something else bigger?
It's part of it, because this is what these planets, what energy they are bringing when they align together tonight. Mercury is about communication and mental clarity. Venus is about creativity and love. Mars is about more passion in your work and taking action. Jupiter is about expansion and abundance. Saturn is about discipline and grounding. Uranus is about innovation and new ideas. And Neptune is about intuition and our spiritual connection. So they all tie in to each individual. And it's about bringing the love, bringing the grounding that's needed, because our energy, especially if it's all combined together, we might feel like, oh, we're only one person and I can't make a difference because I'm just one person. But you look at every one person that might be saying that. You look at how many people are on this planet that don't want to see Mother Earth destroyed. There are so many light beings on this planet working to save Earth, and the destruction that certain entities are trying to do to her, that each one person combined with the next person, combined with the next person. So you start, where you might just look like this, but then you add this, and then this, and then this, and this. So you end up with a huge ball of light going through the planet, clearing out the negative so that Mother Earth can do what she needs to do to birth into that new energy. Now, when she births, there are going to be disruptions. So you're going to see storms, you're going to see earthquakes, you're going to see volcanoes erupting, but it's not somebody out there creating it. It's Mother Earth herself expanding so that she can go into this higher dimension. And we have the choice, and that's where a lot of us are at right now. Do we want to go with her? Are we going to do our part to step up, to speak up? It doesn't take much. If you see something, my mind just went blank. Something that that you see that is wrong. You don't just sit there and turn away and pretend you didn't see it.
Could that be like pollution?
Absolutely. It's like if you see somebody dumping waste into the water stream. And you know that's wrong, but if you don't report it, then you're working against Mother Earth. You're working against the planet. You're working against humanity. So that's why Michael was saying this morning. It's like everybody has a voice. And you use it however you feel led to do, but you need to speak up. Because those that sit by and do nothing, that say nothing, they're part of the problem.
So Julie is asking if you can explain what the pillars are. Are they earth vertical, horizontal, or in space?
The way I have always been shown them, and unfortunately I don't have my crystals here with me. They're still in storage in New Mexico. But if you visualize one of those Lemurian crystals with a point on the top, just visualize it as going straight from Earth to the sky, where you can't see it anymore, where the peak is up way up above where you can't see it. Those are what are being plunked down. And I mean, they're literally going down into the earth so that she can use the energy of spirit to help her. So they're literally like,
kind of like antennas where they're up in the sky and they're drawing down the energy into the earth. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can people
and that's
feel?
Why, huh?
Can people feel these? Would they be aware of them if they're energy sensitive?
Yes. And you can note, and I notice while we've been doing this, if I watch the news, which I try not to, but it's kind of hard. It's everywhere nowadays. But if I watch it after I put a pillar down in a particular place, the next day you'll read, oh, there was an earthquake. I'm like, oh crap, I just put a pillar there, or something happened, or there was a flood. And I'm like, but again, it's something that was, it needed to happen. And by putting the pillar there, it just allowed Mother Earth to do her work faster so that we don't have to drag this rebirthing process out. Because I was originally told it would probably be until the end of the year before she finally got to the end. But I've been kind of picking up that it's probably going to be a lot sooner than we think now.
Things are accelerating.
Yes.
Yeah. And these pillars, they degrade over time. So you go back and you reinstall them. And so does Archangel Michael just show up with a list and say, here's your assignment for tonight. Go put these pillars in?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So for those who are listening and who want to help, how would they do that?
Literally, it's just about visualizing one of those pillars. And if you get a sense of, I need to put one in the Supreme Court. Well, put one in the Supreme Court. But make sure it's etched with love, truth, justice, and unity. Because pillars can be put anywhere. Because as far as Earth is concerned, buildings they're inconsequential. So if that spot is dark, so from the spiritual side, when you're looking at Earth down, you can see where the dark spots are. So that's where they're going to put a pillar, because that means there's way too much darkness there, and it needs a pillar to start sucking in the darkness and then putting the light out.
So you're going to organize a group to come together and you're going to walk them through this? Because just to say it, that's a lot for somebody to make the leap.
Well, that's what I have, the group that I have. We meet every other Tuesday on Zoom, where we talk about what they've noticed, what they're working on, and kind of discuss things. how they see what they're doing, whether they see a change, whether they feel a change. And one of the things I had all them do as well is the grandmothers speak. The grandmothers are the ones who put up the net of light. They're the indigenous elders from around the planet that created this net of light that goes around the planet to put, to keep the light on Earth and to keep her protected. And they have, I think, 3 books out now. They have a newsletter that you can get. I think it's every month. And I think they even have a movie. I think I have their movie, but I was introduced to them years and years ago. And that's how I got introduced to the net of light. And it was like, ooh, I need to know more about this, because as an indigenous person, this is something I want to be a part of, because it's all about Mother Earth and protecting her.
Yeah. So later on, you're going to give them a link so that they can get in touch with you if they feel led to do this kind of work, and they can join your group who are actively working with Mother Gaia.
Yeah, you can, if you're interested in joining the group, you can just reach out to me at elenaskyhawk@gmail.com.
I'll just put that in chat. And you've also got some handouts that you can share with them as well.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, again, because they're not set up on any kind of platform or anything, I just have them for people that are clients or people that join the group, because they all have gotten these. But if anybody's interested in them, again, you can reach out to me at the same email. But I have a Maha'ina meditation, and it is a meditation that connects Father Sky with Maha'ina, or Mother Earth. But then it goes through your chakras, and it aligns your chakras. And it also, in the meditation, I describe which organs are connected to which chakras, so that they can be cleaned and cleared. And it goes through all the chakras. And then there's some healing stuff that is done where we bring the lights down in from, Raphael, and to clean out everything and then reconnect everything so that you're grounded in Mother Earth while you're still connected to Spirit. So I have that in a couple different forms. I have it just like in a PDF. I have an audio version, and then I actually have a video version with, I can't remember if I'm drumming or if I'm rattling when I'm doing it, but then there's also invocations from Archangel Michael, and it's based on, I think it was Lynn Grabhorn who originally put something. It was called Dear God, where she had some statements that you could say to help clear your energy, clear your home. And Michael decided, nope, that wasn't good enough. It needed to be changed. So he's like, pull that up. We're going to change the name. We're going to change the way it's worded. We're going to add this. We're going to take out that. So it totally changed the document. And I actually kind of like it better. But it is of where you're standing in as your I am presence, and you're clearing out your guides if they've been compromised, because they can be compromised by dark forces. I've had it happen to me years ago. So you want to clear those out if they've been compromised, because you don't want guides around you giving you false information, having you end up working for the dark, because that's not what we're here to do. It also goes in and clears your pets and your livestock. He even included one with the livestock. And I was like, well, that's okay, but that's what he wanted. So I put it in. It clears your house. It clears your land. And then he also brought in Saint Germain and the violet flame that once you do all this clearing, all the junk is burnt out and removed from your field. And then he had me also put in another clause where he comes in and he puts a shield of titanium blue around you for protection. So that's available as well. It's a PDF. I think there's probably 15 to 20 invocations that he has put on there. So if you're interested in any of those in any form, just reach out to me through email, but specifically say which one you want. And if you want both, that's fine. But with the meditation, if you're wanting the meditation, let me know which of the three you're interested in: the PDF, just the audio file, or the video, or possibly a combination. Just kind of let me know which one you'd be most interested in.
I have a feeling they're going to want all three, because if they're in, right?
Right.
And the other thing is, if this appeals to you, if you want to get involved, then definitely reach out to Dr. Elena about her group who are actively doing this work, because she can work with you along the way, tweaking, helping you to step up to higher levels, because as you learn one thing, there's always more to learn. And she's getting new uploads or downloads, new information all the time. Michael's adjusting it as we go, because it's evolving, right? We can't just stay with anything static. It's evolving. And that's why it's so important that we regularly connect and talk about these things, so that we can help one another step up to that next higher level as it happens. So we have a question from Albertine asking what we can do for the children.
Well, what I'm hearing is, first and foremost, they actually have a protection around them, especially the younger ones, that we have kind of sort of lost as adults. So they're more resilient than a lot of adults are, because they still have that very close connection to spirit. But he's saying all children are protected. Actually, all adults are. We might have holes here and there because of our life experiences. But if you envision them in this bubble that Archangel people in for protection. Oh, that's weird. I'm hearing myself.
You're hearing the echo? Because I just made an adjustment. It was making that weird noise again. Take that. Go ahead now. Try that.
Okay. He says what you can do is literally envision them in a protective bubble of the titanium blue, which is his protection. Because all of us have angels, guides, archangels, ascended masters that work with us. And I would ask the children, if there are children in your life, I would ask them, do you see children? Or your guides, your angels? Can you feel them? Do you know who they are? Because sometimes they'll actually tell you their names, like, oh yeah, because it's not always, when I was a kid, it's like, oh, that's just a dream you had. That's just your imagination that, oh, you have a special friend. How nice. Well, usually those special friends are their guides. Those special friends are their angels that are there to protect them. So it's a matter of seeing them and believing that they are protected, just like us. You have to believe that you are protected by the light, because then you will see it. So, again, don't do it backwards. I'll see it when I believe it.
Yeah.
And it's something we all go through, because even I go through the same thing. Michael will tell me, because I was concerned about my Social Security, let's say. Oh my God, with all the crap that's going out there, all the lies that are going out there, it was making it sound like we weren't going to get anything anymore. But yet when I looked, it was there. And that's what he's saying. You really have to believe that you are protected, because nothing is going to happen to you. And that goes for the children as well. You surround them in love. You surround them with protection. And that's one of the things Michael brought up this morning about the love. Because you don't have to like somebody. Because there are a lot of people I don't like, but you still have to love them. As a soul, we have to love them. And of course, I have issues with that, with the current, who in the office.
Sure.
But what I was told was, for one, to quit calling him names, which really sucked. Because what it does is bring our energy down to their energy. And we don't want to do that. We need to take the high road. We need to stay up here, let them do all their crap down here. But by calling them names, by cussing them out, guess what happens to your energy? It comes down and it meets their energy. So again, you have to visualize, even if you have to put yourself in a bubble, put your children in a bubble, and just visualize them and know that they are safe. And that, yes, what's going on is horrendous when and that's another thing, self-care. Because Michael has me not watching the news some days, like totally staying away from YouTube and watching it, because again, it brings your energy down. Even if you're watching a so-called Democrat channel or because I noticed they're starting to really kind of put fear in there. So that's why it's so important with the love. Because if you have love, like I said, you don't have to like them. But as long as you have love for yourself, because he has to start with us, then you put that love out to your family, to your friends, to your community, and it just keeps growing out and out. Because if there's love around you and in you, there is no room for fear, anger, hatred, bigotry, racism, whatever else you can think of that's in that negative. Trying to think who came out with that book, Power versus Force, where there is they actually put different emotions at different levels. And you could see all the negative ones down here, but as long as you stay up above here, things will start turning around. And it's not easy to do, because as much as I've been doing this, I still go down into the dump sometimes.
Yeah.
As you know.
What really helped me was, okay, it's one thing for the angels and creator to say, you've got to love everybody because they're perfect souls and blah, blah, blah. But that isn't easy to do. But then one day they explained to me, it's in your best interest, because karma, baby, if you are saying these negative things, you are sending out a boomerang of, we could call it manure on that boomerang, and it's going to come back probably double what you sent out and splash all over you. So exactly. For self-preservation, we have to let that go.
Exactly. And it's not easy, because I still catch myself, especially this last week or so. And it was like a shaking finger. What did we tell you about calling names? Nope. I'm hearing myself again.
Okay, let me adjust it. Yeah, it seems to go in and out periodically. So Julie says, there's so much propaganda I only watch live when I actually see the conversation, the conversion and intent. She thinks he has good intention and willing to do what's not popular. Yeah. We're going to find out. It's all going to play out and we will see what happens. And then Eva says she found that doing daily meditation has really helped to find the center. So starting each day with that clean slate. Yeah, that's beautiful, Eva.
And one of the things that I'm now am able to do, since it's starting to warm up a little bit, is to start going out for walks.
Yeah.
Get out in nature, plant your feet on Mother Earth, get the sunshine back in you. And it's one of the things that was brought up is, especially like if you're in the Midwest or the East Coast where it gets a lot of snow and clouds and it's just icky for so many months. You get that feel, there's a name for it. I don't know if you remember, because my mom used to talk about it all the time, because they would, as a nurse, she would see it in patients and it had a tendency, there was more suicides during the winter time than any other time of the year, because they weren't getting the sunshine. They weren't getting out in nature. They weren't connecting. But I was thinking about it the other day and I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Linda put it in there for us. It's SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Yeah.
That's it. Yes. Thank you. So they brought that up the other day. So when it started getting nice here, it was like, get your butt outside, get your butt outside, get your butt outside. And it's like, all right, already, so make sure that you get a chance, even if it's for a short walk. It doesn't have to be long, but you have to have at least between 5 and 10 minutes of sunshine on you. For one, it gives you vitamin D, which the body needs, but it also gives you that connection to Mother Earth to let you know that, and let her know that you're still here. Because again, she's a living, breathing being. She needs to know who's still here and who's still with her and working with her.
Yeah.
So what I did the other day, because I went off trail, I started walking down the railroad tracks. I'm like, I want to see what's down here. Luckily, I didn't meet the train, but I still went down the tracks because I was curious. And I found a bridge. I didn't know there was a bridge down there, and they're huge boulders. I mean, I have a video of it on my Facebook page, but I had a blast. And then when I was done, I went and found one of those big boulders that I could sit on and lay down, and I meditated. And I put prayers out for Mother Earth and everybody on the planet, because you don't want to exclude anybody. So you put prayers for the healing of humanity. And then always make sure you include yourself.
Mm-hmm. We're getting short on time, so I'm thinking now would be a really great time for you to make it a little more concrete for anybody who's still quite not sure what you're talking about.
Heck, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, it's like, when they start talking, I'll sometimes listen afterwards. I'm like, what did I just say? Or did I just say that? What the heck are you guys talking about? Basically, what Spirit wants us to know is we are in a literal battle. Like, make no mistake. We chose to come down here at this time for this reason, even whether we recognize it or not. I'm frozen.
You're frozen? No, you're back. You're moving now. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm frozen. And there we go. Yeah, it's still kind of frozen.
But I can still hear you, so keep talking.
So what they're saying, now I lost my train of thought.
Well, how often are you having this group? Did you say you're meeting weekly?
No,
What's
we
the
meet
plan?
every other week. The next one is on March 11th, I believe.
Okay, so twice a month you have these gatherings, and they
Right.
can come and you can answer questions and they can share their experiences, and then everybody kind of grows together. Is that the concept?
Yeah, it's like when I first started it and started getting help, first everybody that joined got the meditation and they got the invocations from Michael so that they could clear themselves, clear their homes, clear their spaces, so that I knew that they were working with him and through the light, because you need to get that cleared first. And then when we had our first meeting, I kind of, because what I did with them, I met each one individually first because I wanted to get to know them a little better and to see where they were at on their journey and how much they understood. And then they each picked us kind of like a spot or a place or a country that they were working on. And then when we had the first full group meeting, then we got to talk about, okay, this is what I did. This is what I've been seeing happen over there. Because again, especially once I was able to say, okay, you're going to do that, then I don't need to focus on that. I can put my focus over here. So then when we all get together, then it's like, okay, so now let's bring it all together. And what did you notice? What did you notice? What did you notice? And this is what I noticed. And then we would pick another spot for the next couple weeks and focus on that. And then in between, Michael comes in and says, we need extra over here. We need extra over here. So then I would go ahead and just, do that. And then we would come back together again. So I think this next meeting on the 11th is going to be our third get together. Because up until then, I've been doing it by myself. Well, not by myself, because I know there's other warriors out there working on it, but I haven't actually had a team, so to speak, to actually sit and help me with it. But this is going to be ongoing until we get kind of like get everything balanced again. Because like Michael keeps telling me, it's not about Democrat against Republican. It's not about the right versus the left. It's the division in humanity itself that needs to be rectified and brought into unity. Because that is what Mother Earth is expecting of us. That's what she wants, so that she can go up into the next level with as many light workers with her, and energetically can handle that shift.
There, I just changed the banner. I'm going to change your audio again because it seems to be chirping.
Yep.
Okay, try again.
I'm like, oh,
You
they're
still
not
here?
frozen again. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Somebody put in the
Okay.
chat, you've been freezing throughout, but your audio has continued. So don't worry, just keep talking.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I keep freezing and I'm like, can you still hear me?
Yeah, just keep talking. You're doing well.
Okay. So that's where we're at right now. It's like, we need to get Earth stabilized. So this work is going to continue on some level with these pillars for a while. There might come a point where he adds another word onto the pillars, because for a while it was just the three. It was love, truth, and justice. And then we added unity, because I'm like, I know there's another word that's supposed to be on there. And one of the group members said, yes, it's unity. And I'm like, oh, and I got goosebumps. I'm like, that's it. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So that's why I'm saying the power, when you have more than just one and you come together to put the ideas together, because Like she was getting unity, I was getting the other three. But without all four of them, you don't get the full picture. So that's why it's important that we continue, like you said, we continue talking to each other. We keep having these discussions because the power of a community is extremely strong.
Yeah.
And the more love and light.
Sorry.
Oh, well, it's just like with the more love and light that we can hold within ourselves and to Mother Earth, the more powerful we are.
Yeah. And with your group, as they're all working individually, it's human nature to doubt that what we're doing is having an effect if we don't know what to look for. So that is so vitally important to come back to the group, to share what you experienced, what you felt, what you observed, but also the angle of trusting that energy and intention is everything. So if you put it out there with the help of the angels, it did have an impact.
Yeah. And that's why he keeps stressing that believe it, believe it, believe it. And then you will see it. So if we believe, like I strongly believe, that there will be peace on this planet, we are going to see it. We might see it sooner than later, but we're still going to see it. So you have to, in some instances, kind of like put little blinders up so that you don't, all the crap that's being flown out there doesn't hit you in the face and blind you.
Yeah. And that's not shutting
our
out reality either. Some people think, well, if you're doing that, you're just doing this, but it's not. It's protecting yourself so you can do the work.
Right. And that's what we're saying. Self-care is extremely important when you're doing the work of the light. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of the community. So that's why I step back every once in a while and I'm like, okay, today's the day I'm just going to curl up on the cot with the cat and play games because I need the distraction off the brain because it's just too much onslaught. Or I'll go take a walk in nature. Like the other day I went because it was like 75 degrees outside. I was like, woohoo. And when I'm just going to go for a little walk, I was gone for 2.5 hours because I just decided to sit down and connect with Mother Nature. And I just sat on a rock and just like, wow. It was just, and when I finally got back, I'm like, I was gone for 2, and Bearheart looked at me like, hello, Mom. What about me? Where are my treats? So it is. Sometimes you just have to step back and take a break. And that's okay. Don't berate yourself. Don't say, oh my God, I should have been doing this. I should have been doing that. No, you're doing what you need to do to protect your sovereign soul.
Yeah. And if somebody is listening to the replay after this is done, I think it's important that we iterate that this can be a small amount of time or a large amount of time, and it can vary. I mean, if you've got 10 minutes to stop, pause, and just send out some love, light, and intention, that's still important.
Yes.
Can you speak to that?
Even the putting the pillars down, don't take that long because it's all so-called in your imagination. So you close your eyes, you tap into Archangel Michael, and you're like, do I need, this? And this is what I do before I settle down for the night. And I was like, do we need to put pillars of light down anywhere? And he'll immediately come in and say yes or no. And if he says yes, then I ask him, where do they need to go? And he'll say, I need 2 here, 2 there, 5 there, 6 there. Okay, so then you just visualize these huge pillars plunking down in the space that he said put them there. And then I watch as love, truth, justice, and unity get scratched in. It's like, because I'm not doing the writing. They just, when I put them down and anchor them to the net of light, and not all of them are attached to the net. Only when he tells me to attach it to the net do I attach it to the net. Most of the time, it's just, no, we need one, or two or three. I think one, the other day he had me going through, he was just naming the countries. I want 3 there. I want 11 there. I want 2 there. And each country, I was just visualizing the country, and poof, 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 they all come down, and you can watch as he inscribes those words on the pillar. And then it's like, okay, next country, I want 4. I don't ask him why so many. I don't ask him why so little. He knows what he's doing. He's the boss. He can see from above what is needed.
Yeah. So Linda is asking, are there other light workers who are working in the political arena that you're aware of?
I would assume so, but let's find out. Because you never want to, what the assume means. So ask the question again.
Are there other light workers who are working in the political arena?
Whew, I got goosebumps on that, and a big yes. Yeah, everybody knows what their job is, for lack of a better word. So we're all being, like I said, we're all psychics. So we're all being directed by Creator herself on where, because Creator knows where our strengths are. And that's why mine is with Mother Earth, because we have such a strong connection to her since childhood. Oh, there I go again. I hear myself.
I'm changing it again. There we go. Bren once said that she's on a major ley line and the power is really intense. She can feel sorrow from them, and I think she means the trees. And she feels that the youngest is hopeful because there are still people who are working to show love. That's beautiful.
And it's true, yes. Because again, the trees are sentient beings, just like we are. The trees have a chakra in them. So, like, if you want to work with the trees, don't just go up and hug one, because some trees don't want to be hugged. You go up and you ask permission. You talk to the tree, and each tree has a chakra, one chakra, and it moves up and down the trunk. So if it gives you permission to hug it, that chakra will come down to your heart level, and you can feel the love coming out of that tree into you. And it's an awesome feeling. But you can't just inadvertently, I've had some trees that literally have said, don't touch me. And I'm like, okay, it's like, I'll go to the next one. And the next one will say, yes, I need a hug. Or it looks like you need a hug. Come here. And then the chakra will come down and meet me, and it will exchange love. So you can do that with any tree, bush, because again, bushes have auras, and you can see where the aura on a bush is. You can, just like we have auras, so do they, so do trees.
Yeah. Another question that just popped up, somebody might be wondering, is if they're out there and they're wanting to help putting down the pillars, can they do it wrong?
No.
As long as they have positive, loving intention.
As long as it's done with love and positive intention, and they're doing it from the heart space in connection with Archangel Michael, there is no wrong way to put them down.
And they could always ask the angels to help them do it the quote right way anyway.
Right. Because not only is it the light workers and the warriors of light that are down here, but we all have a battalion of angels with us, because it is in the best interest of all beings that planet Earth be saved and protected and allowed to rebirth herself up into the next dimension. So there are a legion of angels here and guardians from other planets that are here protecting us. So again, if you're more attached to if you're a star seed and you're more attached to your planetary home, those beings are with you, and you can always reach out to them and ask them, what else can we do to help protect Mother Earth? Because it's in their highest and best interest too that she stay as a being of light and not be overrun by the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people are asking and mentioning about, peaceful protest and calling the senators and do all of those things. But what Elena and I wanted to convey to you is there's so much more we can do energetically that we maybe haven't even understood that we could do. And what we've talked about here today is just a small portion of it. There are more energetic things that we can do that we probably haven't become aware of yet. And when it's time, the angels will inspire somebody in the community who will share it, and then we'll all do it. So it's constantly expanding.
Absolutely. And yes, it is very, like today, there's a boycott out there. It's like, participate, let your voice be heard. That's why I was saying earlier, your voice can be heard in a myriad of ways. You can boycott, you can call your senators, your congressmen, whoever you can call your governor, at this point, because they're all on board on seeing change rapidly to, and today is the one boycott. On March 4th, I believe I saw there is protests going to be held in all 50 states at the capitals. And then on March 14th, 15th, and 16th, I believe it is, they're doing different protests in different places. And I know one of them is around the Heritage Center, which is the one who wrote this stupid project 2025. So they're going to be a huge protests in DC against them and the guy who actually what they call the architect of Project 2025. But it's like it's like part of me, still like, are we really winning? But at the most part, I keep being told we've already won. It's just, it's going to take a little while to actually see it on the planet, but it's also giving everybody a chance that wants to step up and have their voice heard and raise their vibration. It's giving everybody a chance to do that.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything else to ask. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap up?
I just want everybody to know that they're not alone. They really aren't. I mean, you and I are both, we're both teachers. We're both spiritual leaders, and if you need somebody to talk to, reach out to us. Don't feel that we're unapproachable, because we're not. So it's like, if you have questions, ask them, reach out privately. Don't feel like you're in it by yourself, because you're not. So it's like, as a community, we are stronger. If we don't have the time, which I can't say I don't have time, I have plenty of time. But that doesn't mean I'm not working on other things too, because again, we all are. I have books I'm working on and articles and YouTube videos. And I'm going to start sharing more stuff on my YouTube video or on my channel than I have been, because Michael is getting a little bit more forceful in what he wants shared. And so this one article and the video I did was about spiritual apathy, especially because I see it very rampantly in this country right now. That people just, well, and it's not just this country, it's the whole world. People just giving a crap. And when you get to that point where you give up because you think nothing is happening, that's when you need to turn to somebody and talk, and let your feelings out. Not do it in a space of anger or fear, because that defeats the purpose.
Yes. We have somebody who's talking about all the horrible things that are happening, and I was just writing an answer. I think it's important for people to keep in mind that across the globe, there are people suffering and dying every day. We can't personally change that right now, but what we can do is continue focusing our love, our prayers, our energy, calling in the angels. That does make a difference. And know that some of those people are going through that because it's part of their pre-birth plan. They wouldn't be in that situation if it wasn't. But that doesn't mean we can't help to ameliorate with love and light. So we do that knowing it is making a difference, not letting ourselves get dragged down into depression, because then we can't help anybody. So it's a juggling act, and that's why the community is so important. If you're having a day where it's just too overwhelming, then you reach out and you ask for help. You hold on to those angels.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's so true. We don't know what other people's soul plan is. So a lot of people have chosen to leave this year. A lot of people have chosen to leave this year, but that's their choice. They made that choice on their plan when they came in this lifetime to leave at certain times. We all have certain exit points that we can take. So, just like when people leave in mass exodus, like what happened on 9/11 or the bombings in Oklahoma City, that was part of their plan, because the whole plan was to help wake humanity up. And they wanted to be a part of that, because for them, that was like the most awesome thing they could do on a spiritual level for their growth, was to help wake the rest of humanity up that they needed to change. So yes, you still want to empathize with them. You still want to send them love. But on some level, like my mom, the minute she found out that Trump had been elected the first time, she's like, I'm out of here. Because she goes, I am not living in a world where he is a president. And yes, she did have cancer, but the doctors had said she had like 9 months to live. And she goes, I'm not sticking around. And she didn't. But they have that choice. That was her choice to leave, even though it was, I'm like, what? You can't go, But I had to honor that, because she had told me that she was not going to live in a country where he was president.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're sovereign souls. We get to make those choices. So I have another question for you that's a different one. Foxy Mama wants to know, what happens to the 3D Earth once the 5D split occurs?
Ooh, that's a good question. I never thought to ask that one.
Well, I got a vision one time. I don't know if it's true, but it was just kind of the representation they gave me of, like, here we are, there's Earth. And it's like from within Earth, another layer rises up. And that's the 4D that we're rising into. 5D is the Akashic record. So in my understanding, Earth is not going to 5D, because that would be in the Akashic records, and there's no corporeal beings there. So that's something for later. But as we rise up, there's going to be some kind of a separation, but it's really not clear what it is. And I think we're getting different representations of that from different people. And it doesn't matter. It's going to be good. We know that. So we just keep working towards it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of video. I haven't really paid much attention to them because there are a lot of YouTube videos out there right now talking about the split and, oh my God, it's here. And are you going with, into 5 or the next dimension? Or are you going to stay with, and it comes back to that reality of so many people saw Kamala as the president and so many other people were so insistent it was going to be Trump. But again, it depended on your visualization or your belief on if you were going to be in the next dimension or if you were going to stay in this one. So like you said, we really don't know yet. And I keep asking to be shown a little bit more, and I haven't gotten it yet. Source came in a couple weeks ago and she downloaded so much information, and I'm only getting bits and pieces of it. But right now, none of it makes any sense until I get more. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to put it out there. Oh my God, this is going to happen. And then find out, oops, nope. So it's like, no, we wait until we have enough information that not only feels good, but is correct.
Yeah. And I just did a video yesterday on what Earthtopia is going to be like, the first day in Earthtopia. And what Metatron said is it's evolving. It might look like this today before you get there in your visualization, but by the time you actually get there, it could be different. So don't put a lot of energy into that. Just know that you've got the big picture of you're going there and it's better, and that's a wonderful thing. And for esoteric tarot, who's really stressing about all the wrongs that are going on in the world right now, it's good to know about them. We need to know about them. But if we let ourselves go down that road of being so distressed about it, we're not going to be good to help anybody. So we have to send love, because love is the most powerful force in the multiverse. It does make a difference. Maybe it doesn't change because that's part of their plan that they're living out, their karma. But what we can do is by sending that love, we can ease it for them and make it a little less troublesome. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, and you can also put a pillar there. Ask our Archangel Michael to put a pillar down. Because when they put that pillar of light down in there, it will draw the negative in and send the light out. And so if it really is in their highest and best interest, because it always has to be in the highest and best interest of all concerned. And if it is to remove the darkness, then the darkness will be removed and it will change.
Yeah, we're always looking for the most beneficent outcome.
Yeah.
And like the people, we can send a pillar to Guantanamo to comfort and ease that situation.
There's several in. There's a lot there.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's another question. This is perfect for you. Foxy Mama wants to know. So does 3D Earth still exist if a 4D version splits off? Because Mother Gaia is ascending. So does that mean that 3D Earth gets destroyed or collapses, or are there two versions of Earth? Because I know Dolores Cannon talked about there's two versions, but I'm not getting that that's true. So I don't know.
Well, the way I've always been shown, if you go back in history and you look at the Incas, the Mayans, the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, the Aztec, they didn't just vanish off the face of the earth. Okay. They're still here. They're just in that higher dimension.
Yeah.
So we will see them again once we rise into the next dimension. So it's basically, from my understanding, is our consciousness, once we clear our junk and we do what needs to be done, we will raise our vibration high enough that we will be in that next dimension. And all those people that we thought had vanished off the face of the earth will be there. We just can't see them now because we haven't reached the vibration that they were able to reach when they were here, because especially the Lemurians and the Atlanteans, they were very much higher vibration than we are.
Yeah. Yvette is talking about a meditation that she had with Fred Rogers, which was so wonderful. So I just put the link to her channel so you guys can go hear it, because it was really beautiful and definitely worth hearing. And I think also inspiring. Linda says, no destruction. People will be in the place that they are comfortable. Yeah. Well, the thing is, if their souls were ready to go, they'll go. And honestly and truly, that's not where we want to be putting our attention anyway. That's going to work out. That's their soul business. It's like I had this conversation with Toni Morrison, which you'll be seeing later today. It's coming out. And I asked her, what can we expect that's coming forward? And she says, no, I'm not going there, because that would be me planting seeds on your path that could cause a disruption. Not your business right now. Don't go there. You focus on you today and your journey.
It's like we need to keep our focus in the present, because that's technically all we have. The past is gone, doesn't exist. And tomorrow is not guaranteed. We always pray that it's going to be there and that we're going to wake up the next morning. But all we really have is this day and time, right here and now. Yeah. So when we focus our energy and our love on what we are doing right now today to make everybody's life better, not just ours, but the planet, our pets, our animals, and the planet, that is what's most important. And if it means goofing off for the day, then you goof off for the day. If it means sitting in prayer and meditation, then that's what you do. If it means going and visiting a sick friend and checking up on somebody that you haven't heard from for a while, do so. Whatever you feel led to do today, that's what we do. And don't focus on what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to take care of itself.
Yeah. And Foxy Mama has another question. If Mother Gaia's soul contract is a 3D Earth, ends around 2050, what happens to 3D Earth after this date? Is it an asteroid or an ice age? And that falls into what we were just talking about. It's none of our business. It's her soul contract. So if we all focus on ours, doing the best that we can, that is the most expansive way we can live our life and positively impact the planet and all the people. That's where the power lies. So we should probably wrap up, because we've already gone over time, and I want to be respectful of your time and the audience. Is there anything that you would like to say to wrap up, Dr. Elena?
Well, I tried once before and we got sidetracked. Because I could talk about this stuff all day long.
I know.
Wait a minute, I do. But it's like I said before, if you need to talk, reach out, because we are not, yes, we might be busy doing our stuff that we're being asked to do by Spirit. But if somebody really needs to talk and you really are reaching out because you want some understanding, don't feel that anybody is unapproachable. They shouldn't be. If they are a true spiritual leader and teacher, you should be able to reach out to them and say, hey, I have a question. Can you answer it? Or do you have time for a 10-minute talk? And usually most people will have the time. They should. There are other times where it's like, oh, nope, not today because I'm booked, or, I have this going on and that going on, which happens a lot. But you can always send an email and ask questions, and say, hey, this is going on. I'm scared. Can you give me some hope, or, give me a prayer or a meditation that could possibly help? Because there are other avenues, like Deborah was saying, and I know you have quite a few on your website that Metatron has given you meditations for people, to use. I'm still in the process of redoing my website, so I don't think I have any meditations on the old one, and the new one is not up and really ready yet. So, but I do have like I said, the Mahayana one, which will connect you to Earth, and it will help clear your chakras and your organs and give you healing. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me, the Elena Sky, whichever version you want. If you want the PDF and you want to drum yourself or rattle yourself to it and do it yourself, then you can get the PDF. Or if you want it already done, you can either get the audio or the actual video that I did doing it. And again, if you want the invocations from Archangel Michael to clear you and your space and your pets, reach out and ask for that one, and I will send it to you. So there's different ways that you can stay connected to us in between us deciding we're going to come on and because a bunch of stuff has come up and we're like, we're seeing this and this and this. We need to come in and talk to people.
I'm just answering somebody else. What I think would be really wonderful, if it's okay with you, is if you would offer a prayer just to end.
I asked that earlier. I said, Michael, we need a prayer, and he goes, just sit there, pray, and say, help. And I was laughing so hard, and he goes, and that's literally all you have to do, and that is a prayer. You're asking your guides and your angels for help. Because if you don't ask for help, you can't get it, because they can't step in if you don't ask. And you have to be specific. As I found out the hard way a couple of years ago, you have to be very specific when you're asking, because and this was when Medicine Bear was still alive. She was my female cat that I had. I didn't know I was not breathing when I was sleeping. And she came into my dream one night. Well, I didn't realize it was her until afterwards. This young man came into my dream. And I was sitting there doing like I had been running like a marathon. And I kept asking her, or the young boy, for water. Please give me water. Give me water. I need water. And he kept saying, do you need help? If you need help, ask for help. And I said, yes, I need water. Give me some water. Literally, it got right in my face. And he's like, if you need help, you need to ask for help. And I was like, okay, help. And that's why Michael was like, why he did that this morning. So I said, help. And I literally immediately had two angels at my feet and one at my shoulder lift me up and turn me over onto my side, where I started gagging and choking and coughing as my heart started beating again. And when I opened up my eyes, there was Medicine Bear staring at me. Are you okay? And I was like, oh my God, she came into my dream. She knew I was in trouble. So again, we have to make sure. I thought I needed something other than what I did need. So when we put prayers up, Michael told me this morning, he goes, ask for help. Literally say, yes, I need help. And that's, he said, that is a prayer. Plain and simple.
Thank you. So to the members who are here, I just want to remind you, we're having our February gathering tonight at 7:30. We're going to do a very special new meditation. So I look forward to seeing you then. And angels, help. We need all the help and all the different flavors and colors that you can bring us for peace, love, and oneness on the earth. Please and thank you. Absolutely. Thank all of you for being here. Thank you, Dr. Elena. I so appreciate it. You guys, please reach out to Dr. Elena. She is a wonderful anchor of love and support in these trying times. So thank you all for being here. See you soon. Much love. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.